Hi, everybody. What are we doing today, Will?
So we're gonna do some coffee cupping, and we're gonna be trying 4 different coffees from 1440. And the reason we're doing that is because I'm partnering with them to do like a Barbell Stories coffee sort of thing. 1440 is really great. They're a coffee company down from Austin, Texas, and they really like to give back to the community. And so they partner with a lot of different people, and through all those partnerships, there's always a philanthropic sort of goal in mind. And this is Ray, by the way. This is my wife, in case that wasn't clear.
I am the loved one.
Hey, babe. Okay. All right. So we're going to be doing a cupping, and the reason we're doing a cupping is because we're trying to decide which coffee we want to go with. Ryan, the order 14.
Ryan is the owner of 1440.
And he gave us 4 different coffees to try. Full disclosure, we tried doing this before and it went way too long. So
way too long. We're
just gonna pare it down. So what we did is we ground 12 grams of coffee.
I didn't do anything.
I ground 12 grams of coffee of these 4 different origins, and we're going to add 185 grams of water, I reckon. It's a 1 to 15 coffee to water ratio. We're gonna let it steep for about 4 minutes, and then we're going to stir the crust in, take all the floaties off the top, and then we're going to wait about 5 minutes, let the coffee cool to a drinkable temperature, and then we're going to cup. So you can do this. It's not like this isn't like a super fancy thing to do. You can do this to compare coffees. You can do this to compare like Folgers to a high-end coffee. You can compare high-end coffees. You can compare Folgers to Maxwell House. I don't care what you do, but this is a really good way to learn what your preferences are when it comes to coffee. So
let's get into it.
To it. Hey, buddy. Okay, well, it's been about 10 minutes since we brewed, and so at around 5 minutes, I just stopped the brewing process by just stirring off the crust and then getting all the floaties off. And then we have 4 different coffees. So on the far left, we have an Ethiopian washed, we have a China washed, we have an Ethiopian natural, and then we have an Indonesian Sumatra natural. So natural process is just a different way of, it's like washing beans, basically like removing the like bean from the cherry fruit. Wash means it's like literally washed away. And then natural process means that you just let the beans like
fall away?
Yeah, fall away from the cherry. And that adds sort of like some funky flavors, and it's really good. You'll get a lot more of like acidic, sort of like tropical fruit flavors with that.
Okay.
So I reckon we start with the Ethiopian wash and then just kind of work our way down.
Okay, that sounds great.
And so when you're cupping, I was about to say spooning. When you're cupping, you want to like slurp in air with your spoon.
I know the reasoning is similar to when you let a bottle of red wine breathe, because the airflow kind of enhances the flavor profile.
Yeah. Okay, so you remember how we said we've done this before, and we're kind of redoing it because we stumbled.
Yep.
What are your initial actions to this the second time tasting it?
This one doesn't have a lot of clarity to me.
Yeah.
There's nothing there's not a distinct flavor that I can land on.
Yeah, so the flavor profiles that Ryan sent with us for this one is grapefruit, caramel, dark fruit, raspberry, lemonade, and watermelon. And for me with this one, I always get the grapefruit because there is like a little bit of bitterness to it, but it's not like a bad bitterness. It's like the bitterness you would get with like eating grapefruit. You know what I mean?
I love grapefruit, and it's like that actually.
Yeah.
I was just remembering the last grapefruit I ate. I do get that.
Yeah. So like to me, that's pretty pleasant.
And now we're on to the
China,
and the things we can expect are butterscotch, oolong tea, brown sugar. I'm expecting to like this one because I like those flavors.
That's fair. And China is you can go ahead and cup. I'm just wondering, but China is really interesting because this is a relatively new like growing region to get like coffees from. So I'm really excited to have more of this and try it again. Because I remember the first time we tried it, it just was like a people pleaser. There wasn't like a whole lot of defining characteristics. So I'm hoping maybe my second try will be better.
Definitely getting some like desserty notes.
Yeah, actually, I'm tasting the butterscotch more this time, but like also some dark chocolate. So there is a little bit of that like bitterness that you'd get with like a cocoa, but like not a ton. Again, it's sort of like a little bit muddied. Like it's like there's like all these different flavor notes and they're all good, but it's just like not very clear.
I think I want to like this one a lot more than I do, and that's not saying I don't like it. It didn't meet my expectations.
Right. That's the issue with all of these is that they're really good. It's just like when you're comparing really good coffees, like you're going to have like these little like, this is really good, but if we can change like this one little thing, like that's what I'm thinking about when I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Because they're all really good. Like they're all exceptionally good.
So you're always thinking about the things that could be better.
Especially in this. If I was looking at different coffees from like roasters and like this is my baby. When I'm tasting that, I'm just trying to enjoy it. But with this, when we're like trying to like nail down like this is what we want our coffee to be, I'm looking for like these very small things that like would just make it just a little bit better.
Sure. So this one is another Ethiopia. This is the natural one, which means you like let the bean
just naturally fall away from the sugar.
Okay. And so we can expect strawberry, yogurt, blackberry, honeyed sweetness, and cocoa nibs or cacao nibs if you fancy.
Wow. This tastes dark.
This tastes very rich to me.
Yes. So yeah, like that's what I meant. Just like very heavy bodied and like it has that sort of like cherry, like tart cherry flavor to it. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I will mention
so
that
good.
I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to coffee.
That's okay. I barely know what I'm talking about.
So just wanted to present that to you that I think this is great. And I also don't know that much of what I'm talking about.
This one, I remember just like, I wanted to love it so much more because there's a lot of complexity there. You can tell there's complexity, it's just kind of like masked by it being just a little bit too roasted.
Yeah, but what I really like about this one is I can feel the different like flavors kind of like hitting at different times.
Yes.
And I can feel that on like different like parts of my tongue. I
Yeah.
guess,
Right.
And I think that like of the three so far, I'm getting that from this one, but not the other two. And I really, really enjoy it. It's just that you can feel the complexity a little bit more.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take this one more time because I really like it.
While you're doing that, I'll talk about this last Indonesian. And it has a cedar aroma, allegedly. Cherry, dried fruit, tropical fruit, and molasses.
And this again is a natural.
Okay, yes. And I really enjoy the flavor of molasses, so I'm excited about this one.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Go for it.
Nature.
Like in a good way?
Like, you know how when you're like out in the woods or something and it's just kind of like damp and the air is like kind of heavier and you can, I don't know.
Yeah.
To me, that tastes like that.
This tastes like I'm in a cabin in the middle of the forest in winter.
So we sort of agree.
We sort of agree, yes. What are your like kind of wrap up thoughts on like how are these all?
Yeah, I agree that all these have really great potential. I just think that the second Ethiopia that we had, the natural one, that had the most clarity of all of them.
Yeah, I agree with you. I like both Ethiopians. I really liked both of the Ethiopians. If I had to choose one, I really like the natural.
Yeah.
But spoiler alert, we're going with the wash.
Spoiler alert.
Because the wash was like, the initial reaction we had to it was really pleasant. And it was just a lot easier to dial in for like a good roast. This I feel is gonna take a little bit more like tinkering to get right, because naturally you have to be a little bit more careful with how you roast it. So yeah, that was our coffee cupping experience. And if you want to do this yourself, I definitely recommend it because it kind of helps you refine what you like in coffee.
It's fun.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. It's a really great way. And if you don't have access to like having a bunch of bags of coffee, if you talk to a local coffee shop that has like a bunch of different roasts, you can ask them like, hey, can I get like 10 grams of like 4 different coffees?
Yeah.
Especially if you're telling them like you're gonna be cupping to kind of like see what you like. They're probably gonna be open to either just giving you 10 grams of beans because it's 10 grams of beans, or you might just have to give them like $5 or something.
Well, either way, it was a fun process, and I BS'd my way through the whole thing and had a great time.